Hey y'all, welcome back to Brant Murphy Garage. Now, I know in the past we've been working on the, what was going to be a 302 for the Trans Am. I'm actually going to end up selling this block just because I'm kind of wanting to go a different direction with it. And, I could use to free up the space here in the garage. I think, we're probably going to be moving soon, so I kind of need to declutter a little bit. So I'm actually selling this engine block today. Hopefully, we'll see if the guy actually takes it. But he seems really interested. Anyway, it was a lot of fun messing with this and, learning about electrolysis and cleaning engine blocks and stuff like that. I think the block just needs a little bit more work than what I'm actually wanting to do with it. So I'm going to go ahead, get it sold, and what we'll probably end up doing is buying an aftermarket block, maybe one of, it's a Dart block, but it's a Blueprint Engines block, but Summit Racing sells them as like a Summit brand engine block, but it says BPE like right on the side of it. Maybe we'll go ahead and buy one of those engine blocks instead, and kind of taking the same concept with the 302 with a 4-inch bore and a 3-inch stroke. Maybe we'll go ahead and we'll build a 372 with a 4.125-inch bore and a 3.48-inch stroke, and kind of have something similar. Have an engine that can rev out to like 7,000, big cam, good heads, stuff like that, and make a nice little, race engine out of that. Don't know for sure exactly what I'm going to be doing yet. All I know is I'm going to be getting rid of this. One thing I really did like about this engine block, though, is that it is a 6618 casting. So, it was a 69 350. It could have been, I'm pretty sure it was just kind of pick off the shelves back then, but this was the same casting number that could have been used for a DZ engine. This one just happened to be put into a 69 C10. It's a 255 horsepower, 4-barrel 350, 4-bolt main with nodular main caps. I mean, it's a good starting point for someone maybe trying to do an error correct restoration, like maybe on a 69 Camaro or something. I kind of had the engine block listed as such, so I'm asking, not a lot of money out of it, a couple bills. So we'll see how much we actually sell it for. I've had it posted on there for a few weeks now. I had a few nibbles, no one too serious. This seems to be like one of the first real serious people wanting to come out and take a look at it, but we'll see if we can make a sale. All right, everybody. The 6618 block has been sold. Sold to a really cool guy. He's planning on actually doing something, maybe building it this summer. Didn't tell me exactly what he was going to be building, but I kind of got an idea that he might be building a 302 out of it as well. I told him to go ahead and let me know when he does build it and send me a video of it when it's done, because I really want to see that thing run again, especially considering that I bought it and it was locked up tighter than a nun's chastity belt, and I basically had to beat for the pistons out of the cylinders to make it a bare block. So very interested to see what happens with it. I also let the crankshaft out of it go as well. It was a 442 crank, so just a cast 350 crank. But yeah, all of that is now at this dude's house. Now, one thing I did go ahead and do yesterday is I removed the headliner out of the car because it was bad, really, really bad. Now all of that shit is in the car. Probably should have took the SY1 out before I removed the headliner. Really wasn't thinking. Now it's covered in all that shit, but everything else is in here is covered too. So time to go ahead and start cleaning out the car. Needs a good vacuum. Look at it. It's freaking everywhere, man. Disgusting. This thing needed a good vacuum anyways, but now I just have a reason to do it. Now I will be getting a new one of these from Hawks. I'm unsure if these clips come with the Hawks reproductions, so I will be saving those for a later date. And then I'm probably just going to go ahead and just junk this because it's not going to do anyone good. It's ripped in several places. It also broke in a couple different places as I was removing it. So if it wasn't junk before, it's definitely junk now. And then also while I was removing, I found a nice little bit of rust in there. So at some point I will remove the trim here again, and I'll just hit that with the wire wheel. I just want to get it all back together for right now. And yeah, but that's a little bit concerning, but we'll get that cleaned up. I don't even know if a wire wheel's gonna, I mean, it's pretty bad. I may actually have to put a new piece of metal in here or just cut this little piece out and just call it good. Whatever. It'll, one way or another, I'll make it work. And then final little piece of information here is that the first couple pieces for what I'm going to be doing with the 4175 showed up. So I did go ahead and get an 8.5 power valve now that I'm pulling about 17 inches of vacuum. And I got some new gaskets too, because I'm going to have to take everything apart. So we're just going to put good new gaskets in it. Got the new power valve. Now we're just waiting on the spring kit for the vacuum secondaries and the new diaphragm with it as well. Anyway, short video. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not doing it yet and you haven't subscribed, why don't you go ahead and do that. We're doing some fun stuff with the Trans Am. I mean, we got the Borg-Warner 9-bolt rear. We got a Super T10 that we're going to go ahead and get rebuilt and thrown in the car as well. And the 334. There's a couple of things I wish I would have done different with it when I built it. This is my first engine build, so when you're doing something for the first time, sometimes you think that you should have, you know, done some things differently. Well, there's a few things I wish I would have done differently with that. So I think before we slap the Super T10 in it, I may just pull the engine and transmission out. I think that's going to be the easiest way to get the 700R4 out of the car and then the Super T10 in. But when we pull it out, I think I may go ahead. I reuse the 5.7 rods. I think I'm going to upgrade to 6.0s, put forged pistons in it, and get rid of the 416 ported heads and go with, I think it's the AFR heads, the 175 cc AFR heads with 194 valves. I think we're going to do all that. We'll freshen the engine up. I also kind of want to take a look at the bearings and everything and see how they're all doing. There's nothing about it that's making me nervous that something's wrong, but being my first engine build, I just kind of want to see how everything's going in there. So that'll be a down the line thing. We got to get the Super T10 rebuilt first before we can even start thinking about that. And before we can get the Super T10 built, we got to get the 9-bolt in the car. So a lot of things going on, but we'll get it done. So thank you all for watching. See you in the next one.